Good morning and welcome to another edition of WMRT Breakfast. I'm joined here this morning with Craig Mitchell and Jesper Radek. We've woken up this morning to some not great weather conditions, unfortunately. There's not much breeze at the moment, but we're going to be talking a little bit more about that later. Yesterday we managed to whip through loads of racing. We ended the day as the breeze was dying with 2 of the flights done in the semi-finals. In the semi-finals we had Torvar Mersky, who drew to race against Bertrand Passet, and then Damien Eel drew against Jesper Radek. All those 4 skippers ended the day with 1 win each. So as the standings are now, each skipper has 1 win. So the race committee have a massive job to do today to try and find some wind from somewhere, get through the rest of the semi-finals, get 2 finalists and get those finalists done. Because I believe we have a Mistral on the way. Is that right, Tour Director Craig Mitchell?
Morning, Hannah. You're right. We've known all week, or it's been forecast all week, that the Mistral is going to come in. About 80% when we began, and now they're 99% sure. So, and we're getting classic conditions now. The wind's gone. There's some rain coming and cloud cover, and so what we're going to see next is the breeze, maybe about 4 o'clock, come in from the west at about 20 knots. We'll see some clear skies with light high cloud, and then the Mistral will start blowing, and by tomorrow it'll be 30 knots.
So definitely no sailing tomorrow as it stands at the moment. Obviously we've got quite a lot of racing to get through today. What does that mean for the skippers? We're going to talk to Jesper in a minute about it from his point of view. But, you know, hypothetically speaking, if we don't get any racing in today, what does that mean?
Well, if we don't get any racing in today, then we've got to look at the scores as they are, and they're all tied on 1 point. So we need to break those ties in each of those separate semi-finals. And so we look back at qualifying. Torvar Mersky won qualifying, so he would emerge as a leader, and then also Damien Eel would also emerge as a leader, and then between those two, Torvar Mersky then would take the crown.
Great. Well, Jesper, what does that mean? What does that mean for you? Obviously, you've had a spectacular event so far, but if this happened, no more racing came in, it would leave you in 4th place.
Well, it just means that what we did back on day 1 with having a little bit of a difficult day, slow day to get going, is actually in the end gonna, hit us pretty hard for the final result, because we had a strong race against them yesterday, and we had another race we were leading that was cancelled. So I feel pretty strong about the semis, and if I have to leave here as 4th place on the final ranking, I'd be pretty disappointed.
But equally, you don't want to go out there and try and race in unfavourable, tricky, changing conditions. Is that right?
Well, you should never sail unfair races, but at the same time, you should respect that all the teams need a little bit of time to adapt. I mean, Damien's got 8 years of experience in these boats. I got 4 days. So I think it's reasonable. You give everyone a chance to have a few days where they just get into it, and then you do your important racing at the end of the event. And hopefully we'll be able to get some conditions that are reasonable enough, and I think we should really push it to get going, because I think now is when it really counts. It's not what happened a week ago, it's what happens today that's important for the finals.
Okay, well, there's only one way to find out, and hopefully if we do get some breeze, if that breeze does come in, we will be going live at 1 o'clock Central European time to bring you all the very latest action. Will Jesper get his races in, and will he be able to get through to the finals? You'll find out if you watch us at 1 o'clock. Thanks very much.